Hi everybody, it's Tatiana, and today I decided to record a couple of videos in front of my Christmas tree. Don't get it twisted. It's almost January. Today is the 28th? 29th! I don't know what day it is. Like yesterday I thought it was Tuesday. If you follow me on Snap, then you know where we are. I decided that I wanted to come and do my best books of 2016 video. At first I wasn't going to do one because 2016 has been a shit year, and I kind of didn't want to end the year talking about how shitty of a year it's been, but then I had to think about it. I'm like, everybody knows it's been a shit year. It's been a different kind of shit for you than other people because everybody's lives are different, but this year has just been shit. There have been two high points to this year, and that's my sister got married and I started a new job. Other than that, 2016 has been pretty much like 2015 and 2014. Plenty of funerals. I actually even missed two because a very good friend who was my best friend for almost the majority of my childhood and young adulthood passed away in February, and her funeral was on the exact same day as my sister and time as my sister's bridal shower, which was in North Carolina, a 5-hour drive from me, and even we couldn't change the time of it, and even if I flew, I would have missed the majority of one or the other, and I was helping plan my sister's bridal shower. And then the other one I missed was actually the week before Christmas, because I had made some plans that had been rescheduled and money had been put towards them, and so I didn't want to skip that again. Yeah, that's pretty much been my year for the last 3 years, but that's not what this video is about. I actually have some things that I'm going to discuss about that in my goals for 2017. Favorite books for this year. I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I read a shit ton of books this year, and graphic novels and single issue comics. I set my goal on Goodreads, I think, for 50 or 75. I don't even remember. Whatever it is, I kicked its ass. According to Goodreads, I've read 94 books according to my tracker, because I didn't put all of some of the single issue comics, which I didn't even know Goodreads had. I was able to put on there for the Black Panther, but the other ones that I read that were single issue comics are on my spreadsheet, and that has it at 101. So I'm happy with that. But I read a lot of graphic novels and single issue comics this year. I borrowed about 30 graphic novels from a friend of mine, and I read all of them this year. So that kind of boosted it up on the amount that I read. So anyway, make sure my phone is on vibrate, because this always goes off when I'm recording. Favorite books of 2016. The Daylight War by Peter V. Brett. This is the third book in the Demon Cycle series. I actually read books 3 and 4 this year. 4 is The Skull Throne. But when it all came down to it, I liked book 3 more. Simply because there was more conflict. The Skull Throne is a lot of plotting and planning, which I enjoy, but the conflicts that take place in here and the growth and power in the women, in some parts of this, the women are showcased much more, and I still don't like Enevra, but I would certainly suggest this. The first book in this series is The Warded Man in the U.S. It's The Painted Man in the U.K. I absolutely love this series, and the 5th book, The Core, is supposed to be coming out in 2017, so I am really looking forward to that. Then I have Walk on Earth, A Stranger by Ray Carson. I actually read this in January of this year, and it's still, after all of the books that I've read, it's still at the top of my list as far as favorite books for this year. This follows the story of Lee Westfall, and she can sense gold wherever it is, be it in the ground, on people, and that kind of can pose a great thing and a bad thing during the California gold rush, when you're attempting to cross the U.S. in the 1800s, and you're a single female attempting to make this journey across the U.S. And the things that she does, the way that her mind works, the people that she comes in contact with. Thoroughly enjoyed this. Next is Binti by Nnedi Okorafor. This is the first short science fiction story that I have read in a long, long time, like way before I started YouTube. In fact, even since I started recording on YouTube, the only short science fiction thing that I've read was The Meeker and the All-Seeing Eye, and then The Strange Library by Haruki Murakami. And I only read those because of the BookTube SFF Awards. So, yeah, this doesn't have a lot to beat out, but that does not change the fact that I really, really enjoyed this. I actually read this in December this month, and it's between this and the other two stories that I read, I really want to get back or get into reading more short science fiction. I'm not a fan of the novella when it comes to like romance novels or fantasy novels for the most part, but I find it really enjoyable in science fiction. So, yeah. This is opening up my mind to some other things. Then my second favorite book of the year is Malice by John Gwynne. This is the first book in the Faithful and the Fallen series. I am trash for the young, like the farm boy chosen one story trope. Trash. That's what this is, and I'm currently reading Valor. I'm hoping to finish that by the end of this month. I loved this. I read this during the first week of the first Tome Topple Readathon and flew through it. I would honestly have flown through Valor if life hadn't gotten in the way, but you know, it did. The story and all of the characters in the story and the treachery and the brutality. I love it. My favorite book of 2016 is this puppy right here, The Book of Harlan by Bernice L. McFadden. I absolutely adore this story. I love Bernice McFadden's writing. I have for years. I actually stopped reading her for about 3 years because I had 1 year where I literally read everything that had been published by her up to that point. And this year, after reading the Book of Harlan, I reread Sugar and This Bitter Earth, and I will probably reread some other ones. I haven't yet read Ida B. and Nowhere is a Place or Gathering of the Water. So that's 3 books in her bibliography that I haven't read yet, but I'm okay with rereading some of the other books that I've read, such as Camilla's Roses and Loving Donovan, and oh Lord, I'm missing a lot because like 1 year I literally read like 6 books by her, and I was like kind of overwhelmed, so I put her down. This follows the story of Harlan, who is born to a teenage mother in Macon, Georgia, and raised first by his grandparents and then thrust into living with his mother, who really doesn't have a grasp on her goals for life or what she wants to do, and kind of being thrust into this fly by the seat of your pants lifestyle that he just so happens to take to. And the story that comes from that, like he ends up traveling the world and it's the worst experience for him. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It's everything. So yeah, those are my favorite reads for 2016. If you've read any of these, let me know in the comments below what you thought of them, whether you agree with me or disagree. Let's discuss that below. I like book discussions. So yeah, talk to me in the comments below, and thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good weekend whenever you see this video. Peace out.